I the a-hole for borrowing my husband's underwear? So I, 28 female, am about 7 to 8 months pregnant, and while I've thankfully not gained a lot of weight, my belly has grown a lot, and I find that most of my underwear is too small and cuts into my side/bottom of my belly. After a while, I started getting a rash in the places where it was too tight due to friction, I guess. So one day I was getting dressed and I was getting frustrated about the rash and the underwear being too small, so I figured I'd try on a pair of my husband, 29 males, boxers. They're size L and too big for me, but oh my god, it was the most comfortable thing I've ever tried on in my life. Breezy and loose, and even the places where I had the rash didn't hurt. My husband had already left for work for the day, so I decided to just borrow them. At the end of the day, we both come home and I tell him that I borrowed his underwear and asked if it was okay to continue borrowing some until the baby comes, less than 2 months left, or at least until the rash is better. He seemed a bit weirded out, but said it was okay. Fast forward a few days and we're going to bed and he flips out at me and asks me why I'm wearing his good bamboo underwear. I'm confused, but he points at the band where it says bamboo. Then he goes on a long rant about how his few pairs of bamboo underwear are the comfiest and best quality, etc., etc. I swear this is not an ad for bamboo underwear. I apologized and said I just picked the pair off the top, just like I did the other times, but he was upset and said I wasn't allowed to borrow his underwear anymore. I said I wouldn't borrow the ones that said bamboo on them since it bothered him, but he just drew a hard line saying I should go buy bigger underwear for myself and stop stealing his. Now I'm thinking this is probably more about how he actually doesn't want me to borrow his underwear and he's using me accidentally taking the wrong pair as an excuse, but I'm not sure. So anyway, am I the a-hole for thinking my husband should let me borrow his underwear, or am I just entitled? Well, I mean, to be fair, the pregnancy's probably been so hard on your husband's body and everything that, he needs those special underwear to help him with the pregnancy. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for people to have boundaries. People, even in a marriage, you don't always have to share every little thing, like toothbrushes. I swear to God, people don't share toothbrushes. I can't handle that. I feel like, and yeah, it's a private undergarment, it's the secret undergarment that the world's not allowed to see. So I can see someone being a bit uncomfortable with that, but it's the fact that he said okay to it at first and then just kind of flipped out and, oh my God, chill out. It's just underwear, my dude. I don't know, it's for a couple months. She's carrying your child and her body is having to deal with all kinds of stuff. Can you just let her wear the underwear? So, I don't think that she's an a-hole for wanting to be comfortable and not have to go out and buy new underwear that she's only going to have for a couple months. But, I don't know. Everyone's allowed their own lines and stuff. So if he's not comfortable, he's not comfortable. But it seems like a silly thing to get worked up about, but to each their own. Today I effed up by agreeing to be my best friend's girlfriend. Before I start, I want to say that English is not my first language, so I'm sorry if there are any mistakes. I, 15 female, and my best friend, 13 female, have been friends for almost a year. We met each other online and we tell each other everything. She is a lesbian and I'm bisexual. Today she confessed to me that she has a crush on me and asked me to be her girlfriend. I said yes because I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I know she's afraid of rejection. Honestly, don't have feelings for her, and I only like her as a friend, and her friendship means the world to me, but I don't want a relationship. She also told all of her friends in real life and her parents that I'm her girlfriend now, and they congratulated her. Her parents even want to visit my country now since we're dating. I know sounds like a terrible person, and you guys would hate me for what I did. I want to break up with her and be honest with her, but I don't want to hurt her feelings since I want us to continue being friends. Do you guys have any advice? Too long didn't read. I agree to be my best friend's girlfriend, but I don't have feelings for her and I want to break up with her without hurting her feelings. In a lot of cases, especially unfortunately in that teenage, early 20s years, it's very hard to break up with someone without hurting their feelings. Especially if you agreed to go out with them because you didn't want to hurt their feelings, because you've started the relationship on a lie. I don't think there's a way that this goes cleanly. Like, she may forgive you, you may be able to still be friends, but you just have to be honest. Because let me tell you, be it a relationship or friendship, good relationships are built on honesty and communication, and you just have to be honest with folks. And yeah, you agree to go out with her because you didn't want to hurt her feelings by rejecting her, but now you have to hurt her feelings worse by, by having her gotten her hopes up and attached and breaking that off. So yeah, there's not a good way out of this stuff, folks. You just gotta be honest. And I mean, who knows? Maybe you could try exploring to see if there is a relationship possibility there, but it sounds like you already have figured that out in your head, that she's not someone you're interested in like that. So just gotta be honest. It's gonna suck. I'm sorry. It is almost certainly gonna suck. But be honest now. The longer you wait, the more it will suck. Cousin's gift ruined Christmas and possibly my relationship. I come from a big family. Our holidays involve extended family like second cousins, etc. My fiance and I are in our mid-20s, and there are a lot of cousins in their 20s and 30s. Last night we had our big Christmas party. It was fun to see everyone until it was time to exchange presents. My cousin Anna, not her real name, hands out pink envelopes to all the 20s and 30s men who have married/dated into the family. My fiance received one and quickly put it in his pocket after opening it. I was distracted opening my gifts and didn't ask to look at it. About 20 minutes later, my cousin Rachel, again not her real name, pulls me aside and says Anna is giving out cards with instructions on how to get a discount subscription to her OnlyFans. Rachel's boyfriend got one of the pink cards and showed Rachel because he was weirded out. I'm peed at this point because I suspect my fiance's card also has an OnlyFans discount, so I asked to talk with him, and he denies getting a card from Anna. I tell him, I saw her hand you one and I watched you put it in your pocket. I go to grab his pocket and he suddenly remembers getting a card but claims he didn't open it. I take it from him and of course it's already opened and of course it's about effing OnlyFans. I go back inside to confront Anna and find her already arguing with a different cousin who's upset because her husband has already tried looking at Anna's page. Anna claims she's just trying to get her business off the ground and no one appreciates all the hard work and skills it takes to be successful in a digital career. She says her gift, it's not sexual, it's just marketing. Some of the older relatives, aunts and uncles, are starting to take sides too, but they're mostly really confused about what's going on. Anna's mom starts crying because of something I said, and my mom tries to get me to apologize, which pees me off more. At this point, I leave with my brother and his husband because I don't want to spend the night with my fiance at home, and I don't feel like going with my parents when my mom is pressuring me to apologize. Oh, and surprise, surprise, Anna didn't give my brother's husband a card, so make of that what you will about the intent behind her gift. I'm seriously considering calling off the engagement over this, and I'm peed at my cousin for ruining both Christmas and my relationship. So folks who know me know that I'm very, very supportive of any kind of intimate workers online. I myself have done a number of erotica audiobooks. That's kind of how I got started doing voice work. I'm super supportive of that stuff, and I am supportive of people who have more open ideas about intimacy in and adjacent to their relationship. I personally tend to skew more traditional myself. I don't know, like I do, because everyone has their own boundaries and lines, so that's fine. Handing out OnlyFans discount codes to the fiancés and husbands of your relatives is not a good look anywhere. I cannot imagine a situation where that's okay. I have a very open mind, and my immediate reaction is, no, not cool at all. Bad move. Bad move on your fiance's part, denying it, because that means that he saw that it was just like, ooh, a secret dirty treat for me, and tried to keep it from you. Clearly, like twice had the opportunity to come clean about that stuff. Like, oh, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I guess she did, but I didn't open it. And then oh my God. So Yeah, no, I mean, even though I do think that looking at adult entertainment and stuff, if you're in a relationship, isn't necessarily a bad thing if partners are okay with that stuff. This situation is pretty bad, and I don't blame you for considering ending that engagement. At the very least, some conversations need to happen. Want my girlfriend? Threaten me? Take my whole crappy life. I had a girlfriend. We were bad for each other, and unsurprisingly, she was cheating on me. I found out in a rather dramatic way and had a full-on mental breakdown. Dude who she was cheating with had been fed a bunch of lies to keep him from talking to me, and she started threatening me with violence. Long story short, we broke up. She moved out of our place and into his. I started therapy. A few months go by and I realize in therapy that I wasn't just busted up about my ex-girlfriend, but also my whole life. I decided to find a new job, a new place to live, everything. Got the ball rolling, and the day I got my new job offer, I saw an email come into our jobs at inbox at the company I was working for. I recognized the name and the guy who was threatening me and now living with my cheating ex. So I referred him to my boss, talking about how he was great. I'd only heard good things, and hey, because I was putting in my 2 weeks, they should definitely hire him. Dude comes in for an interview. I'm on the panel. When we're in the room together alone, he's like, dude, I'm sorry for all of the things I said. Thank you so much for helping me out. I said, no sweat. She always had good things to say about you, and I know she's a good picker. After all, she chose both of us. And we chuckled like polite people do. He actually does okay in the interview and gets the job. That job was a crap show. I'm not exaggerating when I say that it is the worst job I ever had. The place I was moving to was paying twice for a third of the work. I was so relieved to be leaving. When I moved out of my place a month later, my landlord asked if I knew anyone who was looking. Gave her the guy's phone number. That apartment was charming as F when you first see it, but was similarly absolute trash, but you didn't know that until you were living there. My buddy from my old job told me he got the call for it at work and jumped on it. So he knew he had my old crappy job, my old crappy place, and my old cheating girlfriend. I hope he enjoyed my life more than I did, but somehow I doubt it. I do know that they broke up about 2 months later. So you got your old crappy breakup too, huh? I wonder if it went about the same way. I mean, I don't actually wish ill intent on this other person. It sounded like, he was, misinformed and everything, so I wouldn't wish ill upon him, but I don't know, a person needs a job, so whatever. I don't necessarily think what you did was terrible. It does sound like it comes from a somewhat malicious place, but I don't think it's maybe as malicious as you think it was. But I am happy to hear that you at least were able to, find a better job, go to therapy, and improve your life. I mean, sometimes when a relationship comes crashing down, it can kind of ruin the world for you for a little bit, but if you let it, it can also be a wake-up call into how to improve your life and get things back on track and way better than they were before. So let's focus on that part, shall we? My own mother tried to kill me because I didn't give her money for her birthday. When I was first married, money wasn't that easy to come by. I had a form of leukemia that took up most of our money. Due to this, we can't just spend money like we wanted to. God bless my husband for being such a sweetheart. We were only in our early 20s, and he still pushed through this for us. December 23rd is my mom's birthday. She is an awful person. She tried to get me pregnant at 14 because she wanted more money from the state. That's an entirely different story I'll post on here if people ask. As this was 20 years ago, we didn't really have the same type of cell phones we have today, so I didn't know until I got home from treatment that my mom had called me multiple times. 3 minutes later, I counted, she showed up at the door. She asks for her money. Both of us are confused, of course. She wants her birthday money, which I've never given before to her. She wanted $608, that exact amount. When I told her, no, we can't afford that, she lost it, screaming at me, calling me a W and an entitled B. She gave birth to me, so I should do what she says. And then I say, I'm an adult and I don't have to listen. I was angry and tired and I just threw up a few minutes ago. This set her off. She grabbed a kitchen knife and ran at me while my husband was trying to hold her back. She stabbed me right between 2 ribs but didn't pierce any organ, thank God. I don't know what happened in my husband's mind, but he snapped. He broke her arm backwards in rage while screaming something I don't even think was a human language. He called the police and she was arrested while I was taken to the hospital. Even more bills to pay, but surprisingly that was taken care of by a Domestic Violence Victims Foundation. She got 7 years in prison. I moved out and moved to Louisiana. This morning I got a call from my sister that she passed away last night. How she did, I don't know. Don't care. She took her entitlement and almost killed her own daughter because of it. This is very, very depressing to read and hear about, and I will just say, folks, this is why I always like to refer to the actual idiom, which is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means, like the people who should be important in your life, your family is who you choose and not just who you're related to and who gave birth to you. And you have every right to cut this woman out of your life completely and to not care that she's passed away, because all she did was hurt you and tried to kill you. And you do not need to repair that bridge. She burnt that bridge down, and she would have to be the one to repair it. And it sounds like she didn't. And even if she tried, you would be under no obligation to accept that. Folks, if you have anyone in your life they don't even have to be this awful and abusive, but if they are, you have every right to cut them out of your life. I don't care if they gave birth to you, raised you, whatever. Respect and love and all that needs to be earned and nurtured. And if they're treating you wrong, you can cut them out of your life and you do not have to think about them again. Find yourself some new family. Found family is an amazing thing. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.